Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 275 on February 23rd, 2022. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Clyde, we can see you.
You can hear me also.
Well, we could do that last week.
Well, sometimes. Not consistently, though. Michael Aston. But we
can't hear Michael.
And Jimmy Trammell.
Hey, guys. Hey, Clyde, why didn't we do this show yesterday?
Oh, please, no.
Wait, what was yesterday?
Well, it was
Terrible Twos.
Oh, no, I wanted to.
Of O2.
Tuesday. It was the real Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
The terrible Tuesday.
Yeah, we talked about that a while back that I wanted to, but it just didn't work out. So,
Well,
it's okay.
Well, we missed an opportunity.
No, we can do it at the next opportunity, which is
in
the correct answer
years.
is because it was Tuesday, and we do our show on Wednesday.
I would gladly pay you on Tuesday for a podcast today.
Well, you can pay me for a podcast any day. Go to patreon.com/the VOD Squad.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else is going on? We're off to a weird start tonight.
We are off to a weird start. Hey, should we just hit in the news, or do you want to
do it?
Let's go straight to the news. We're skipping all this, and we're going to talk about Spotify.
Let's go. Hit it.
Spotify has come out and purchased two giant companies that are designed to increase their playbook over the various podcast markets out there. They've went and purchased the companies named Charitable and Podsites. Charitable has some technology that allows them to get good logistics about getting the software. And Podsites, I don't know much about them at all, but this is them further pushing themselves into the podcasting game, which sounds like a weird plan when you realize that most podcasts are free, and I do not understand this at all. Can somebody please explain this to me, why Spotify is going in head first into the game of podcasts?
Well, yeah,
because if you own the platform, then you get the money from the advertising.
Okay, so you think it's more lucrative than the music side of it?
Oh yeah.
The podcasts themselves, they're interested in this. So Spotify needs the podcasts to do well, so people utilize the system for podcasts, and that increases members. The podcasts need this in order to help improve their monetization of their podcast through their own advertising, running ad spots and stuff like that on the show. So they need to generate traffic and monitor traffic so that they can promote themselves to advertisers, so they can get Raid Shadow Legends to sponsor them.
Yeah.
For some reason, they haven't picked us up yet, but eventually, maybe.
It's like we're the last podcast out there to
the only podcast that doesn't
exactly where I was going to go with this, Mike. Why hasn't Spotify called us yet, the VOD Squad, to join?
Because I constantly trash podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah. It must. I think Clyde has something to do with it.
It's me.
It's got to be.
And honestly, as far as you know, they haven't asked us.
Clyde's secretly saying, "Never will we go join you."
No, I mean this isn't like for the advertising side. I've seen this a lot with as podcasts that I listen to move to different platforms. Like for example, Gilbert Godfrey's podcast. They about a year or so ago moved on to the Starburns platform, and once they did, now there's so many ads because the platform puts them in there, and it's like I don't want to listen to the podcast anymore.
Yeah, so Spotify is doing that as well, right?
Exactly,
I
and they're
have to
going to do
listen
the
them.
same
They're
thing.
putting ads before and during the podcast. So,
and those are the ads that are not directly benefiting the podcaster, because then you've got the ads, you've got the platform ads in addition to whoever's sponsoring the show,
right. But you do get, as a podcaster, you do get a payout on views similar to musicians, right?
Yeah.
So you make your money a little different way than you do in on YouTube. It's kind of similar to YouTube, right? The more people watching it, you're going to get more revenue in turn, and you're going to be rewarded for the ads that would have run during that spot. The nice thing here is that it seems to me like this is going to make that more profitable for Spotify, and hopefully in turn more profitable for the viewers, because as Spotify does better, then likely the podcasters will see improvements as well.
And this article even points it out. It says if you felt that podcast ads become more numerous over the past couple of years or so, you're not imagining things. I guess Spotify expanded its ad setup with in-app ads and pre-recorded ad slots that are tailored to your listening habits. But
part of me really, the part of me is real sad inside because of the idea of podcasts being basically a very open and mostly ad-free platform, except for what if they wanted to have an inline ad from the companies themselves. And now it's turned into AM radio, which is kind of sad.
See, and that's why people need to support us on Patreon, because that keeps the ads out of our, we as long as people are, they're patrons out there, we can say, go away, Raid Shadow Legends, go away, Harry's,
no purple mattresses for us.
I don't want your razors.
That's the real reason we're not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. We didn't believe in them enough to take them up on the offer that they haven't given us yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Peloton. They have now come out with a new app on the bikes. This new app allows you to play a game called Lane Break while you're on the bike. It's a gamification of the exercise, allowing you to play a virtual game on what looks like kind of look like you're on a Tron speeder bike here, kind of thing, when you're trying to beat the goals and do what you need to do to play the game as you go. What's interesting here is actually something that isn't mentioned in this article. Apparently, this game is being run by Stadia in the background. It's somebody's let it slip in another article that this is actually a Stadia white label app that Peloton is using in order to do it. Now, that's not confirmed, but that's what all the sources are saying.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago how Stadia was licensing their platform and technology to Peloton.
Apparently this is one of those things. So this is cool. If you like Peloton and you love a video game to play with it, cool, it's the thing. And B, if you think the streaming technology is a good idea here, and this is an example of this thing working in an environment you might even think it would work before.
With as much as a Peloton costs, I would expect the games to be far more polished. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just seeing a
it-
single screenshot. It could be awesome.
Yeah,
You
who
never know.
knows?
Yeah, I mean, and this is the first game they've offered. Most of what you get with their subscription service is live or
Right.
pre-recorded exercise programs with instructors and stuff. So this is a new endeavor for them. And if it does well, I'm sure they will do more. But honestly, this looks cool to me. I think that this would be fun. I assume there's more to it than just pedaling. There's got to be some times where you have to accelerate or
Break and
decelerate
turn
and
and
break or whatever.
Well, you can't turn on a Peloton.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm like, what about, like, you can't turn, so how are you doing these
there's got to be some type of
No,
controls on there.
No, it's if you look, if you've played games like this before, the background is moving around.
Right, I get it.
Makes
But
you feel like you're turning, but you're not.
I'm guessing there must be like a D-pad on one of the that you could use on there so you can change lanes, and I'm guessing that's
right?
part
That's
of
what
what
I
you're
was
doing.
thinking,
Oh,
was,
okay,
like
gotcha.
changing lanes,
Not literally turning the wheel, but just
Yeah,
a little
that's-
click, click,
oh,
click,
okay.
click.
Yeah,
kind of like what was the spy car game?
Spy Hunter.
Spy
That's the
Hunter.
one I remember. Spy
That
Hunter.
is similar. It looks a lot like this. You like change lanes to avoid obstacles, and that's what this looks like to me. And I think, hey, a slightly modified, modernized version of the game. Spy Hunter.
What they did was they took an open source Guitar Hero or a homebrew Guitar Hero and then just changed it to a wheel.
Yeah.
There is an open source Guitar Hero thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The homebrew. But
It's like Keys of Fire, I think it's called.
something like that.
Anyways, because it's played with your keyboard, you literally play with the F keys upside down to play the game. It's actually pretty funny. All right, we have guys, guess what? If you have a Nintendo Switch and you really wanted to be watching things on it, you didn't have a lot of options up to now. I think Hulu got on it, and that's about it at this point. Hey,
wait, do they still not even have Netflix?
No flat Netflix on that platform. It's kind of like either they're refusing or making it difficult to do. Crunchyroll has decided they're going to go ahead and put their streaming service on it, which makes sense. Gamers, they often are people who like anime as well. So guess what? You're going to be able to watch your Crunchyroll right on your Switch, and the app will be free, of course, but it will require you to have your premium subscription to watch your shows. So,
I mean, I understand why you're laughing a little bit, Clyde, but on the other side, I'm like, who's actually worried about getting more viewable content on your Switch?
No, the reason
it's
I'm
the
laughing.
last thing I would use to watch content.
No, the reason I'm laughing. The reason I'm laughing is because Netflix is available on everything, including refrigerators.
Yeah, I get it, but
in cars,
of all the devices I might have, this is literally the last I would choose to watch video on, because if I'm going to be using the battery of my Switch, I'm going to be using it to play video games. I want to watch videos. I'll use my phone, a tablet, a laptop, the TV, the Roku. I think it's weird to even bother putting these kinds of things there. I don't see a lot of value in it. I mean, my daughter has a tablet that's got a bigger screen. Why she wouldn't use the Switch? She used the tablet.
Don't know. It's just another platform, and Clyde is right. It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't, and you're right. It doesn't make sense why they would. It's fine, but it does. It's Crunchyroll. Apparently, they think it's a good enough spot where they're going to get their views, and they put the effort in for it, and so now it's there, and that's great.
Obviously, Netflix is of the same opinion as me. They see so little value in it that they're not going to put the effort into.
Which is funny because one of their biggest platforms when Netflix was starting was the Wii.
Yeah,
it was so huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And you had to
Right.
put a disc in to watch a Netflix, and then you injected that disc out and put your Netflix. Then you could stream online. It was crazy. Hey guys, did you know Meta and the Metaverse and that Meta the game that guys from Meta, you could build worlds in there, and whatever you do, you don't have legs. That's one thing you can't have, but you can pretty much build anything else you want in there. And they said that they've actually
But I want to
grown
build
this.
legs.
I think you could build like legs that aren't attached to your body. You can make something like an external legs thing. I think that's possible. Maybe you could make a chair that emulates legs that you could put your torso on top of, so you look like you have legs. That'd be cool. But no, you can't put legs on your guys. That's something they just can't do just yet. No legs, not allowed. But they've just announced that they have increased the number of users to 300,000 users, and they've created 10,000 different worlds, which means what is that, 30 people per world? That's interesting. Which is a huge increase over the past since they've launched this platform. It's like 3 times as much. So 10 times as much. My apologies. So huge increase. What do you guys think? Is the metaverse here finally?
No.
No.
I don't know what this is. I have an Oculus. I haven't bothered to hook it up since I changed my office 3 months ago when I started redoing my office. So I'm a little disconnected.
So it's a game that they've made called Horizon Worlds, which is not confusing with any other thing called Horizon right now at all.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe that's why they have so many users. They all thought they were getting that sounding game.
Well, my thought is that maybe this is the free app that you can use. Like, everybody has a free home in your VR headset. When you first put it on, it puts you into your little space that's your like virtual home. And so I don't know if it's that or if it's an expansion of that, but my assumption is it's probably very similar and very close. And it's probably pretty easy to put together. And so people have just tinkered with it. And so they're counting 10,000 worlds. Probably 9,000 of those 10,000 have nothing but the default instantiation of the world. Somebody logged in, dropped a plant and said, okay, this is dumb, and logged out. That's my guess. 9,000, at least 9,000 of those 10,000 worlds are pointless. The other 10,000 probably range from anywhere to a fully fleshed out room to some probably pretty cool things that people have put together. But yeah, and because 300,000 users with 10,000 worlds, like you said, it's a ridiculous ratio unless it's something really basic.
No legs. I'm sure ZZ Top would beg to differ.
Yeah.
I mean, at least give them like squid tentacles or something. It's just
Yeah.
Maybe you should create a metaverse for ZZ Top.
it's just legs.
Well, and
Yes.
that's part
Nothing
of
but
what
legs.
makes me think that this is effectively that same world that your home exists in, because they don't give you a full body. You are just a torso, basically. This is more than they had before, because I believe that it was more like a statue bust, like it had like a little carve out on your shoulders or something. And then your hands would appear detached from the body when you were doing stuff. So it's a little bit closer, but still you're not a full physical, like a full virtual being. And
They're working on it.
It's a work in progress. Obviously, like I said, this is not the metaverse. It's not here yet. This is a silly.
Well, this is their metaverse.
Step in that direction.
Right.
This is, I mean, they can say, this is their metaverse, and this may be what they planned and what they wanted. Is it the thing that's going to be ubiquitous for everybody? Is it going to be the thing that convinces everybody that they need to go VR? No.
Yeah, and that's what I interpreted Matt's question to
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Is the metaverse here? Meaning, is this the thing that's going to convince everybody that they need to be in a virtual world? And definitely not.
No. Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's associated with Facebook, no.
It's not. It's associated
But that's
with Meta.
why Facebook is now Meta.
Meta is the parent company of Facebook.
I know. I'm teasing you. But you know what? You can listen to Kanye West's new album. It's called Donda 2. I have no idea anything about it. And it's available for you to stream. Just go ahead, go online and stream it. It's not a problem. Go ahead and find it and play it. It's going to be great. You know what I mean? And wait a second. It's here. It's not working on things like Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube platforms. It's not working. It's being blocked. Oh, I see.
You have to buy his $200 player.
It's called the Stem. Apparently it's interactive. I'm guessing that means you can actually like play with the tracks a little bit in some way. I think we might have talked about this briefly before. I don't remember. I do know that
I have never heard of this thing.
It is absolutely the only way you can stream his new album, Donda 2, which is the sequel to Donda, apparently.
You would hope.
I guess. And and so it is available for you only on that platform, at least for the time being. Most people believe that in the future you'll be able to stream it throughout the platforms, but a little exclusive.
I have not listened to a single Kanye album up to this point. I am definitely not. I am definitely not paying $200. Dude,
can we say it all together? I'm sure he will make hundreds of dollars.
hundreds.
So, here's the thing. So you can go with two theories. There's the obvious theory that he is trying to drive sales of his overly expensive iPod.
It looks like a pill.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like
really an iPod, but it's really...
It's what I imagine the Google Home looks like if you peel off the fabric.
It looks
maybe that's what it is. He just takes those, he peels that off, and he resells them
for $200.
Exactly, makes profit, man. That's good money.
No joke. It does look like a device from the original series Star Trek, doesn't it?
A little bit.
It's an electronic jellyfish.
Oh, okay.
But the other viable theory, and the one that I subscribe to, is that in reality, the album is horrible. He doesn't want anybody to listen to it. So he's like, yeah, you just got to buy my $200 device that's pointless, and then you can listen to it. And he gets to claim he released an album and nobody will ever hear it.
But it's also that the king, what was that thing where the king had no clothes? Because if you spent $200 on a thing, there is no way you're ever going to admit that album isn't good, that you wasted your money.
Right.
It's just like 60 minutes of silence.
The Emperor's New Clothes
of music.
Yeah.
60 minutes of pure silence. And that's what you get when you buy this. But everybody's like, dude, this is amazing.
I mean,
did you hear how subtle it is? Like, it just gets in your head.
Well, I mean, there's that Yoko Ono album that's like nothing but screeches and horrible sounds. It'd be the same thing if somebody shelled out a ton of money for the masters of that, and then they heard it. They're never gonna say I wasted my money. They're going, oh no, this is a great purchase.
It's art,
you gotta
man.
save face.
You just don't understand. That's not that true. Hey, did you know that now Skype has the option for you to make phone calls? Actually, that's something they've been able to do for a while. What is new is they can now make phone calls to 911. This isn't going to be a horrible problem, is it? At all. People, getting on their computer and either accidentally or on purpose dialing 911 to Skype everywhere. Yes, that's right. You can use the Skype program and dial 911 to get to emergency services, which actually is cool because, what if you needed to call for help? But I also foresee the logistical nightmare, which is 911. What is your emergency? I accidentally dialed this, or I just want to see if this works.
Can you dial 0118999
There's gonna be
88199 911 9725
Three.
3?
I wonder if you have to dial this. And yes, I enjoy your joke. Sorry, Clyde. I didn't give enough time to laugh. So, is this only available when using Skype on your phone, or is it going to work on your computer? And what about will it require GPS location services, or will it also try to use your IP address that your phone can use? And then finally, will it send it to some random address in North Dakota because that's where your VPN is pointing?
My normal IP address places me in Chicago, or St. Louis.
Yeah.
So
It says you must be using a device that can share your location, and you must be in a place where sharing is available for this feature to work. So apparently you can dial 911 this thing and it won't work. That actually, if you ask me, kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, sharing location though is so unspecific, right? Because there are lots of different location settings that you can share.
Well, there are different algorithms that for the using networks or local Wi-Fi's and the GPSs for a lot of location services to be available. So there's ways that they can find that information out. And I bet you all those devices, because it looks like it works on everything from Windows to iOS phones and Android phones, all of them have various ways to find out approximately where you are and provide that information. So
it's good to know if I fall in a drunken stupor that I have yet one more service that I can use to call for help.
Yeah.
Jimmy's
Call 911 on all your services.
I've
fallen and I can't get up.
Well, how far are you from getting the medical alert? That's still
you mean time wise, not too far, Clyde.
Powered by Skype. It's a horrible thing. Please don't get powered by Skype.
It's powered by the metaverse. You get a doctor dispatch that has no legs.
If you have no legs, how can you fall, right?
They just kind of float over to you.
All right. So guess what? If you are one of those guys who are getting all these different cameras for your house, let's hope that you don't live anywhere cold if you chose some of Google's Nest Cam solutions. That's because it appears that the various doorbell and the Nest Cam that are designed to go work outside have rechargeable batteries, but have a major flaw, which is that they don't recharge if it's freezing outside.
Can I just say, duh? I mean, is this news to anybody? This is the major flaw with batteries in general.
Yes, but in particular, these ones are expected. Most of them probably have some type of method of making the charging.
But that's the thing is, like the lithium ion does not charge when you get below. That's why if I have out in my garage, if I have my cordless battery plugged in, it'll stop and a temperature warning starts flashing and it will not even try to charge because otherwise it'll destroy the battery. Yeah, I mean, this is.
I imagine that most of these other things. I mean, I know Teslas in particular have battery warmers to keep the batteries warm in cold conditions. Yeah, otherwise you can't use your car in cold weather, which kind of sucks. I imagine the other ones also have features similar to that to try to make it so you can at least use your devices and/or charge them. But yeah, this apparently is a feature, not a bug, which It does make you wonder if this affects a lot of other devices as well that are similarly charged to outdoor cameras and other defined devices.
I mean, and anything that's got a battery, when you get like 10 below or further, like it is regularly here. Yeah, the batteries, and if you try to charge your batteries in those cold temperatures, you will destroy those batteries.
So
does the crime rate go up in the wintertime in Canada?
Well, I think it's in minus degrees Celsius in Canada year round.
Yeah. There's a really easy solution to this, though. Just don't live someplace that gets that cold.
Okay.
That's my approach. I say that, and it's like 29 degrees outside right now. But normally, my battery can last through the cold here.
Yeah, let me check. 'Cause it was that's one thing. That was one of the first things I looked at when I got my Wise security cam.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things I looked at is, does it have a battery? And the answer is no, because it's hardwired, and that's the only reason I went with it. Because it's the floodlight with the camera built in. Because it is currently 2 degrees. So the batteries would charge right now. But yeah.
How about this?
Mm-hmm.
How about this? If you guys have been waiting for the chance to get on Twitch and watch those people who are, playing those awesome games, and you wish you could jump in and play along with them, depending on the game, Twitch is now getting a button that says "Play on Luna." This is the often cited idea of being able to watch somebody play a game and be able to join them live on Luna. This is something that the other streaming platforms, including Stadia, have been working on for quite some time. And Stadia has a couple games that support this feature. And it looks like they are working very hard to make this work on their streaming platform with the other Amazon product of Luna, a streaming gaming platform as well. So which games I don't know just yet, but we're gonna this is something probably you're gonna see a lot more of in the future. So
I think you buried the lead.
What's that?
Luna is actually a thing.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. It's been a thing.
It's
It's still a thing.
Luna, it's been vaporware for a long time, and then but it's out now.
It has been out for a little while. It's still, I think it's still on invite. Is it still invite only? I don't know, but it is still considered a beta essentially, and it is still, and the games list is slowly growing, but it is not nearly as big as some of the other countries.
That's not what Amazon
companies out there
would like you to believe.
Yeah, don't worry. I know Amazon. Eventually, they will swallow the world. So whatever. We'll go play everything.
And I thought Luna was a protein bar.
Yeah, I think it's that too.
I thought Luna was one of the My Little Ponies.
I think it's that too.
Okay.
And it's also another name for the moon. Anyways.
How many names does the moon need? Get over yourself.
Luna. Yeah. Okay. Lots of names. Hey, did you know that there was a company that was going to bring back BlackBerry?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Because, BlackBerries are awesome. And those physical keyboards are the thing, right?
I love a physical keyboard.
Exactly. So if you were hoping for that physical keyboard to come back from the company that was this company called Onward Mobility was going to come out with a brand new BlackBerry, and it was going to be
pre-order it as soon as it's available.
And it was going to be on 5G, and it's now not going to happen because basically
nobody wanted to buy it.
Nobody wanted it. The pandemic basically killed any and all real interest.
Blame it on the pandemic.
And I didn't. And also the company BlackBerry is actually withdrawing their name from use of the device of any kind because they didn't want their name associated with a failing product.
Yeah, well, I mean, pandemic does equal.
Okay, BlackBerry. So RIM doesn't exist anymore, right? isn't BlackBerry just a name that somebody owns?
I think RIM does still exist, but I think it does.
Do they? Okay,
I have no
I'm
idea.
not sure. That's why I'm asking. I know it may have sounded like a statement, but that was more. It was meant to be a question.
It is still a functioning business.
Yes. They still sell the software, I believe.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, this is the funny thing, right? Like, just the implication that they were going to put BlackBerry's name on a phone put them out of business.
That's kind of that's not good for that name.
Whoever's making phones out there, what I desperately want is I want a candy bar style phone that can do like the Spotify and email and stuff. Just give me an LG Shine with Android built into it. And that's exactly what I want.
Yeah,
The LG Shine was fun. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
So if you recall, one of the things that set BlackBerry apart and had them be so successful
Email
was, yes, but specifically it was security. They were the one organization that was allowed to be used by most of the federal agencies for with business, private, top secret communications happening on the devices. So what's happened actually is they've left the phone world and they've transitioned to a cybersecurity firm. So BlackBerry Limited is a cybersecurity enterprise software company. So,
okay, well, that's good.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We're not. They're still not going to be able to make this phone. So, hey, so Sony talked briefly that they are still using their Sony PlayStation VR headsets, and that they are working on a new version that's going to be basically designed for the PlayStation 5. While they still are continuing to support the old system VR headsets for now. But they did release basically a 360 view of their brand new platform, the PlayStation VR 2 headset. They really didn't give us any kind of details about what's in the hardware. That it does look like it's going to be a very comfortable device, and it's definitely going to have that PlayStation look, just like the other one did. So I don't know. I like those controllers. They're very swoopy.
Yeah. Oh, well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
No, this is the first time we've seen this, though. This is the new model.
No, we've got pictures.
Now but that's all we get. All we got was a quick, hey guys, here's what the model is going to look like. More details to come. Okay. No specs, no price, no weight, no nothing. No idea when it's going to come out. Just it is being, it's coming out, and this is what it's going to look like, and it's very swoopy.
Okay.
Do you think that there will be actual straps, or do you think that they anticipate the circular thing around your wrist to be sufficient? Because I think they need straps.
They probably will end up with straps.
Have around your arm. You will have surgically implanted a ring of steel, and then they will be
magnetically
magnetized to your.
That way you can let go, and they will levitate. And
so to use the PlayStation VR 2, you have to have cybernetic implants.
Well, not cybernetic. It's just
augmented.
Basically a bracelet.
Human augmentation, fine. I bought biohacking, right? I like the idea of calling it cybernetic, even if all it does is magnetize my remote, because I want to be the first. Well, obviously not the first, but I want to be cybernetic as soon as possible. Willing to upgrade.
I feel like the PlayStation VR was a little underspec'd for compared to a lot of the other ones, and an upgraded PlayStation VR is a good idea for them because they've actually had some success with that old one. They need to keep the price really low, so you don't have to buy because if it's $300 compared to an Oculus Rift, it has to really beat the Oculus Rift to Quest 2 in specs in order to do that, and because you still have to buy the PlayStation. So I hope that they can make this inexpensive and be pretty pretty good display, and I hope that they are wildly successful with it, quite frankly.
Yeah,
I agree, though. I would say one thing. I don't think that you really need to evaluate the price of the PlayStation in this, because this is going to be for people that are already going to have or want a PlayStation 5. It's not like you're going to get a PlayStation 5 so you can use this VR.
Maybe I
So
will.
I think it's fair to completely separate the price from them. Now, if this is amazing and has really amazing games that are only on PlayStation, exclusive to their VR world, maybe people will do that. But I think in general, they're assuming these customers already have a PlayStation 5.
I predict, in similar fashion to other VR headsets, it will be Windows compatible, but in typical Sony fashion, only if you have a VAIO computer. They still make VAIO computers,
They
right?
do not.
They're
They
bringing-
do not.
Oh, sorry.
Uses memory
That's
stick
next week's
duo to-
news. They're bringing back VAIO.
What?
Yeah. The memory stick duo to
Yes,
to
yes.
data
And
onto-
it's going to be Memory Stick Duo Max Plus.
Hey guys, Spotify has a thing called the car thing. That's right. It's a thing called a car thing. It's a Spotify device that attaches to your car. It connects with via aux port or Bluetooth. It can provide you with Spotify audio to your car. I don't know if this requires an attachment to your phone or not, because that's not clear
it
to me.
doesn't. It's a standalone.
So it does its own
thing.
connection, and so it must get 3G or 4G since 3G
I
is going away on
assume
its
you're going to
own.
have to buy a SIM card for this.
Yeah, so this is and so you have to have a premium subscription through Spotify. You have to pay $90 for this device, and you have to have a probably some type of data plan for you to have a little Spotify screen and a knob.
10 years ago,
What the?
10 years ago, this would have been awesome.
Right. But now everybody's got CarPlay and Apple and Android.
Here's
Android Auto.
how pointless this is. If you actually go to their website, the product page, it shows this in use in cars that have Android or Apple CarPlay, which already has Spotify built in. Why? They only, out of all of them, they only had one picture of a car that didn't have like a touch screen. Any car that's got a touch screen already has Spotify capability.
And to be clear, it is not using a SIM. It's connecting to your phone via Bluetooth
It is?
for the streaming.
So why not
it's
just connect
a
your phone?
screen. Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. If this thing, if all
This
it
is
is,
a more convenient car-centric touchscreen controller.
it's
the
more convenient than the car-centric touchscreen controller that's already built into my car.
Their exact words in this article: car thing then connects to your phone via Bluetooth and acts as a touchscreen controller for the Spotify app, just in a more car-friendly form.
Okay. It might be car friendly if you're wanting to give people in the back seat control.
No, because you have to have ready access to power to run the thing.
Well, most cars have a power jack in the back
Yeah.
of the
Nowadays.
Right, but you can't just like hand it around because it would have a cord that would
No,
be
no,
faster.
I just meant like if you're an Uber or something and you've regularly got people
That
in
would
the back.
there you go. There's the one thing that makes sense.
Then you can let your backseat Uber people control the music.
Yeah.
And also I would never touch that thing in an Uber ever.
Or if you have kids, you've got kids, it's a minivan. You want the kids in the back to be able to do
the music.
DJing. That's the only scenario where I think this works. But even in those cases, if it's your family, typically they're going to have a phone anyway. and they can just push a button and take over the Bluetooth connection to the car radio.
Well, why do I keep picturing a Tesla owner mounting this right next to his big 18-inch screen?
That's because the Tesla owner wanted some type of physical knob, and there's no other way they could have gotten it.
I mean, yeah.
This has a knob. Teslas don't have knobs.
Okay, I guess you get that.
Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this. This is what I was talking about. I mean, look at. Okay, so most of these cars already have. Look at that! This is the only one that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, this is right there on their page. And
but see, look at how convenient it is. And you can mount it up on the dash a little bit more in your sight line. That way you don't have to look.
Just what you need. Another big screen to look at.
Okay, well,
why not buy 2 of them?
For $20, I bought an IOTI arm that mounts to my windshield. It's right there in my sight line where I want it, right off, slightly off from where I'm looking. It's arm's length, so I can easily touch it, and it does the auto charging. So when I throw it in there, it auto charges.
Nice.
$20.
You need a smaller screen is the problem. Your phone screen is too big.
I think my phone screen is the same size as that screen. Mine just doesn't have a giant knob. The giant knob is on my dashboard.
Yeah.
And my steering wheel.
All right, sorry, I can't come up with any more excuses. I've tried as hard as I could to explain why this exists.
I don't, like I said, this is a solution to a problem that was solved by Android Auto. Almost 10 years ago.
And it requires a premium subscription to use. So, I mean, you kind of expect that with.
Well, you need that because Spotify doesn't allow you to cast to other devices unless you're premium. So like I can't play audio on my home stereo from my phone via Spotify unless I'm premium. So that's that. Yeah, it just I don't get it.
Maybe if you own a 1989 model car and you're still using a flip phone, yeah, this makes sense, I guess.
I mean,
if you're still using my
1995 Nissan Hardbody, it's got a $14 head unit that I put in there that has Bluetooth.
Done.
And it also has one of those $20 IOTI windshield mounted things. So for $30, I have Spotify. I don't need to.
And you don't have to pay a monthly fee.
I don't.
So
I just have to listen to $100.
Comments do include one person that said that they actually really like theirs and use it alongside Android Auto. The Spotify interface on Android Auto is clunky and not easy to use.
That's not Android Auto's fault.
No, that's Spotify.
Right,
and also
apparently the interface on this device when using it on this device,
I'm sure it's wonderful. You can even hey Spotify it. You can talk to it directly. Whatever.
Well, I can hey Spotify. I can talk to it directly in Android Auto. The issue isn't with the interface. The issue is the fact that they bury all of your stuff under 6 pages of podcasts so that you can't get to them while you're driving.
They mentioned the ability to get to their playlists immediately, specifically in that comment. So yeah, you're probably right. It's no longer, your playlist is right there instead of 600 podcasts down.
No, I expect this thing will still feature the podcasts first, and you have to click through a couple times at least until you get to your playlist. So whatever. It's Spotify. They know what makes them money. It's the ads on podcasts, something that doesn't cost them a thing, and they get us make money on the ads. Jeez. Hey, Facebook is working. They're trying to figure out how they can not die because apparently they're dying. That's exactly what happened when we found out that they actually didn't actually grow last quarter or whatever. They are going to be pushing their Reels platform, which is basically their TikTok competitor, to the Facebook app. So it is nearly everywhere on that thing. You're going to be hit by short little cute videos being played to you on your Facebook feed constantly because we all need more of that, don't we?
The article says Facebook, so they already did this on Instagram, and it says that Instagram has already had to discourage users from simply reposting old TikTok content as reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that whenever I hear TikTok now, I can't help but hear a comedian that I listen to. I'll have to paraphrase because I can't remember exactly how he said it, but effectively, the TikTok is China's effort to dumb down America by showing them nothing but dumb things. And yeah, I kind of agree. And the other companies trying to mimic, YouTube's got their shorts and Facebook's got its reels, trying to imitate the worst of the internet. It just drives me crazy because I admittedly used TikTok for a while. I remember when it was first introduced, we talked about how dumb it was to have vertical video. And I was so adamant about that. And then I was the first one to download and start using the app. And I hated myself for a couple of months, and then I uninstalled it and went back to having some amount of dignity and self-respect.
So what are the steps of grief? He's went through denial. He went through anger.
Acceptance.
Acceptance is the last one, right? You've accepted it eventually.
I've gotten to acceptance now.
Okay. Yep. Oh, wow. So did you know that GM cars have an in-car shopping app? That's right.
What can you shop for?
Apparently you've got little apps you can download. You can like pay for your gas or coffee or a hotel or restaurant foods or reservations right in the dashboard. It's really convenient.
So how, like, since you're in your car, I'm trying to think of other car-centric things you could pay for, like maybe hookers.
Okay, illicit deals and about the materials.
You pay your dealer. Do you take GM pay?
I don't know if those are features of this. And anyways, if they are features, good news, GM is killing this platform. Because
they were selling too many hookers and blow.
We routinely evaluate our services to ensure that they provide the best experience for our members. In the spirit, we've decided to discontinue our marketplace service. In other words, it sucked.
So either that or people were shopping while they were driving.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The thing about this is, this and the Spotify thing, these ideas had their place. But they had their place before, like long ago, right? Before Android Auto, before smartphones. Now that you can control and do everything from a smartphone, why would you ever want to shop on your car? And I'm sure this didn't exist before smartphones. So it really just was.
Well, if you live in LA and you basically constantly in park on the freeway, I could see this a service like this being useful.
But again, why wouldn't you just be using your phone?
Because you will get a multi-$1,000 ticket for having your phone anywhere near your hand.
Okay, so that, in theory, if this wouldn't qualify as violating whatever law they have, that might be a viable solution. Yeah.
Yep.
Though I suspect it's probably only available when the car's in park. like watching DVDs on your DVD player.
Well, was the Tesla that lets you watch videos while you're driving? We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but I think we also said that what shouldn't be.
Oh no, it definitely shouldn't be. And I'm pretty sure in most states that is illegal. Most states have laws that state that video that is visible to the driver is illegal.
Right.
But
that
video.
That works well, in my opinion, once you have full level 5 autonomous vehicles. But until then, they definitely shouldn't be able to be watching DVDs and movies on the front 12-inch.
Unless it's in park, right?
Right, unless it's in park.
What if I'm driving in a park?
Yeah.
That's you're in park. That makes sense.
Yeah.
My DVD
Park
player.
City, Colorado.
Yeah, that works great there.
Yeah, and inside the park, home run.
Yeah. On mine, it's the e-brake. If the e-brake is on, then I can watch DVD.
I know people who drive with the e-brake on. Yeah.
Yeah. I've known people that disconnected their e-brake just so that they would always be able to watch movies.
Well, if you drive an automatic, the e-brake is like pointless anyway.
Fairly
so
pointless.
you may as well just disconnect it. But you don't even have to disconnect it. There's a little switch. All it is a little switch. You just take that switch and you wire it out to a different switch and say, e-brake's on.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. There's a story here about OnlyFans. OnlyFans is that website that was
It's the porn site.
I was going to say allows questionable material to be put on viewed on the website for.
It's Patreon for pornographers.
Yeah, essentially. You know what? You say it so correctly. I just can't go past it. There was a time where they decided they were not going to allow people to use it for porn. That got changed, but besides the fact that apparently there was another website that was trying to basically pick up that business and try to do what they weren't able to do, and basically was kind of taking a lot of their content.
It was trying hard enough that it was actually succeeding in eating away at some of their market share.
So OnlyFans came up with a creative solution of how to take care of this. What did they do?
They used the terror list to get subscribers or posters on the other platform, like their posts taken down and sometimes and even delisted.
So OnlyFans was able to take the creator, we'll put that as the name of the person who's creating the content, and put them on the terror list.
Yes.
How did they have access to put people on the terror list? That's
so.
Interesting.
FanCentro claims that that OnlyFans found a way to manipulate the database, and they were able to get some of the creators' posts taken down unjustly and disable the user accounts, even though no terrorism-related content was actually involved.
That's scary because
they
anybody
also,
would go on the terror list.
lawsuit also says this is happening on Instagram more than any other platform.
Whoa.
What they are saying that the process is through social media companies. So, for example, like Facebook, they can report terrorist-like activity to this global
terror list, to the big terror list.
Terrorism.
It makes sense that those big guys would be able to do it, but I was surprised that OnlyFans
using a back door by basically working with somebody in the organization to get them flagged, even though there was no actual content that would qualify them to be flagged.
So it said that FanCentro claims that OnlyFans was paying a unidentified social media company to get content from some creators flagged in the Global Internet Forum to Counter Terrorism, the GIFT-CT, which is a wonderful name, database. So that GIFT-CT was founded by Facebook, Microsoft, Twitter, and YouTube. which was their mission of combating terrorists and extremists that use digital platforms. So basically, OnlyFans got somebody to do it for them. is the claim?
Wow, that's scary. Not necessarily impressive, but scary. All right, yeah. If you are an Xbox user, guess what? It is now very much easier for you to start streaming your content on Twitch. They have changed the various ways for you to enable the feature of streaming from your console. It used to take a little bit of work to make that work. Now it is as simple as opening up a live streaming menu, turning on the Go Live Now because you've already set up your account, and you even has cool options like giving you whether or not they can hear your microphone, whether or not they can hear any other multiplayers on your team, what the volume level is on that. And it just lets you stream right to your game right away. It automatically retitles your stream based on what game you're playing. It's a pretty easy way to get to streaming, actually.
So, back to our very first conversation today. So, are they able to use the same button twice? You push it to go live now, and then when you're done, you push the same button to go live now?
Go live. I don't know. You must go live to go live.
I mean, when you're done playing live, then you go live your life.
I guess that's true. You just go live, and then after you're done, you go live. That makes sense.
No, it's Frankenstein.
No, honestly, I'm surprised that it took this long. It was so that there was such a barrier to, entry from a platform that is based around streaming games. You think they would have figured this out a long time ago, but
nice. Okay, we have a story here. This is looks like our last story. It's about a brand new all-in-one speaker. It's one from a company called Sonos Faber, which I'm guessing is not Sonos itself.
No,
the other
Sonos.
company.
Yeah,
Sonos Faber. And this is a giant all-in-one speaker that's looks kind of like a boat, if you ask me, on a stand. It's a beautiful high-end device with able to produce high-quality audio. It's a relatively cheap $2,000. It's called the Omnia, and it's able to provide you with a good quality sound with a single speaker setup in your system. So I am not a hi-fi audio guy. I wouldn't have a clue to tell you if this is the best thing or if this is like a brand that you would be interested in going for. But it looks cool.
Yeah. So this, and you might remember.
What was the one that looked like a blimp?
No, it wasn't the blimp. That was the Zeppelin. I don't remember who made the Zeppelin.
The Zeppelin. This looks like the Zeppelin, but they cut the top off.
But do you remember this? From 2017?
I do not remember that one.
I think we talked about it.
That thing has ears.
Yeah, this is their previous one from 2017.
This is much improved.
Also, much cheaper because they mentioned that it was cheaper. The 2017 one with the ears that looked like a weird space shuttle Star Trek thing had the arms.
Spock.
That thing was $10,000.
That thing that looks like it's supposed to be in the background of Spock's quarters.
Yeah. No,
next to his loot.
I kind of
this
like
one is gonna be is like $2,000.
Yeah, that's why it said it's much cheaper than the previous one. I think this one looks like a weird whistle from the side, but
yeah, it does.
It's got cleavage on the front. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's got a weird. It's got a kind of a robot face and the controls on the top with the two eyes and the mouth.
What's the meaning of the 3 lines on top?
I don't know.
Put something here that's not too heavy. I think that's what it means.
I think that's where you set your phone
Or or
for
small
charging or something. I don't know.
I agree. I think it is like looks unique enough that it's a conversation piece.
Yeah.
And it probably sounds great, but it's not so garishly weird looking that it makes people go, ugh. So it's not bad.
But Jimmy, if that was mounted on a dashboard, I would tell you those 3 lines, that's the relief for the airbag. Because they always cut the relief in the dashboard so that the dash can tear open.
Yes.
But I don't know why this would have an airbag.
It must not have an airbag. I mean, it could. For $2,000, it could have one, I suppose.
Oh, for $2,000, it better have an airbag.
Those are little LED lines, and they light up as.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with my $30 soundbar that we were talking about before the show. I don't know if I want to spend $2,000, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
I think this is actually pretty cool looking. I'd have to hear it to, I probably would never spend $2,000 on it, but still, it's got full Apple AirPlay 2. It is a Chromecast. It's got Bluetooth aptX HD Bluetooth in it. It's got Wi-Fi built in it. It's got a wired Ethernet port, which is a big plus for me.
Absolutely.
I mean, geez, if you have that much space, you might as well. And it has an HDMI ARC port, so you can pass your audio out of your TV into it and use it for a TV connection. It looks like they covered all the bases, and I'm impressed with the design, quite frankly. 2
3-inch paper pulp mid-range cones, a down-firing 6.5-inch aluminum cone, a long throw woofer, pair of 1 3/4-inch full-range drivers, and 2 3/4-inch silk dome tweeters. Yeah, sounds like it could pack a punch.
Okay, I'm sure somewhere it says, it's a 490 watt closed box system. Okay, is that now? I know you've taught me. Is that peak wattage or
that's most likely peak? They always list the higher number, so typically half it. Half it to get the
250.
RMS. Yeah,
250.
But I mean, still 250 is very
it's nothing. That's nothing to laugh about. I've sat next to 200 watt speakers, and they can get very loud.
Yeah. So
sure.
All right.
That is it for the.
Well, that will bring us to the point in the show where we say thank you to the patrons, to the people that support this show. The people that give us money so that we can go out and buy one of these Sonus Faber Omnias.
Wait, you bought one?
No, but if people give us money, we could.
And
then if we could, then maybe we can make a video about it, and then maybe get more patrons to buy more stuff.
This is a self-feeding loop.
This is the omnibus, right? Oh, wait. Oh,
no.
What was that?
It's Omnia.
Yeah, Omnia. I was thinking of what's the snake that eats its tail?
It's Orbis.
Yeah,
that's the Orbis, I believe.
Either way, go to patreon.com/the VOD Squad. Give us money so that we can buy stuff.
Please. And thank you.
And thank you. Patreon.com/the VOD Squad. All right. We should go to rants, raves. Okay.
Rants, raves, and other things. Hey, so I'll start by saying that last night I finished most of my chores and sat down, and I saw a notification that the guys from Ritual Misery were getting on, and they were going to just have a normal BS episode. And I don't really get the chance to see their podcast live, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should get in there and maybe you should get in there, and I should go ahead and listen to their show. it wasn't much of a show. It was mostly them planning for their next big show and other big things they're talking about for the week. But it was fun, and had fun in the chat room with them. But they did invite everybody to then afterwards get into Discord and have a little chat with them. And I sat with those guys until really late in the morning last night, talking about all kinds of crap. Much of it was inappropriate.
Did you have to work?
Yes, I did have to go to work. And I did make it through today, but I am going to go be after this show, put my family to bed, probably do like one thing, and then go take a shower and go straight to bed tonight. I'm exhausted today because I did not go to bed until 2:30 and I got up at 6:30. So 4 hours of sleep is not good for a long day's work. But it was a lot of fun. Those guys are great. They can't wait to continue to hang out with them another time. I did ask if we could possibly, do each other's shows, get them to come and maybe do a guest on our show, or we do a guest on their show sometime. And I, of course, reasserted that we were going to kick their asses next time we do the movie draft. So, and they understood quite clearly that their asses would be kicked. Actually, I think they threatened my life.
Well, you got to remember.
Yeah, I know you're not on our team. I get it.
And so
and
you may kick their asses, but I'm still the only person that's ever won a summer, and I've won one of the 2 winters.
Right. That being said, they are our rival, and thus we're going to kick their ass.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. I'm thinking we need rival colors or something like that, or songs that we can sing, rah songs, or I don't know, something that really just drum up, how we are so much better than them, and they'll do the same thing against us because that's what they'll do. But I am excited that we eventually will be able to do that again, and I hear rumors that maybe soon, maybe it's a maybe.
I don't think it's going to happen until winter.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
That's just my feeling, because the uncertainty of when stuff is going to come out this summer. Even though stuff may come out, but it's going to get shipped around and
right. I'm just excited for it, and
sure.
And as far as for what I did this week, I played some games and I spent some time with the guys at Ritual Misery. And if you have somehow made it to us and you haven't gotten a chance to listen to those guys at Ritual Misery, go over there and to give them a listen. They're great guys.
See, I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't been able to do my weekly gloat fest for a long time.
Yeah, I know you were good at that too.
I'm just, what can I say?
I mean, we did the math. We figured out a system to, figure out how to underbid people and get our good prices. And we thought we had some amazing hits, and you still somehow beat us out.
You got to remember, there's an established force that you can't fight. It's the rule of Clyde. So I pretty much buy anything that I will absolutely hate, or it's just so stupid cheap that.
Yeah, there's the other thing.
See, and that was the thing is a lot of times I'd scoop up a lot of stuff because I'd trick people into buying stuff high.
That's true. The early game, people start spending lots of money. That makes a good opportunity to pick up stuff for cheap later on in the game. So, yeah.
If you're bidding against Clyde, it's probably a trap. Because I don't want it. You can have it. All right. What else? Jimmy, what you got?
Yeah, so I've been watching the TV show Yellowstone. Started off watching it several months ago, watched the first couple of seasons and kind of stopped on about episode 2 of season 3, I believe. And so I did finish out. Me and my wife decided to get back in and pick up on that. So we finished season 3, and now we're into season 4, and really enjoying that one. That one's a really good show. I mean, we enjoyed it before, just kind of I lost track of it there, and I'll pick back up on it. And I think I'm finished the 4th episode of season 4. So, and I think maybe there's 10 episodes there, so I've got about 6 more episodes to go. Really enjoying that one. That one's really entertaining.
Have you gotten to the guy on a buffalo episode yet? Where they get real obsessed with the guy on the buffalo? I think that was season 3.
I think
it's when
so,
the ladies first started, and then they start arguing over, I could ride a buffalo. No, you couldn't. And then they go out and try to ride buffaloes.
Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's one thing that's a little strange about this one, right? The first 3 seasons is on Peacock. And then the 4th season, I had to go to Hulu to watch it.
You mean TV? Because it airs on the Paramount TV channel. That's why the previous seasons are only available on Paramount streaming. But if you watch it week over week, you can watch it on anything that carries the Paramount network. That's why I watched it on YouTube TV. And it took me up until this year. I couldn't watch the show, but they did a marathon of every episode leading up to season 4. And which meant I finally got to watch everything, because once they did that marathon, it was in my DVR on YouTube TV.
Yeah. It's a little confusing keeping up with what service does that, because you're exactly right. And it does flash Paramount logo when you're watching it, but you might be watching it on Peacock or Hulu or whatever.
Actually, it's service. Also it airs on Paramount and also on the country station. I don't remember what it's called nowadays. Not CMT. Whatever that station is that does just country stuff.
Depends on what country.
No, country music.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's aired. So I've had, since I watched it on YouTube TV, I can choose from the DVR different channels, and I actually kind of like watching it on the country channel because they have better commercials. They have commercials for like Boot Barn and stuff, and Ranch Water, which is the dumbest thing, because ain't no cowboy gonna drink hard seltzer. But it's called Ranch Water. Yeah, no.
Come from the rubber hose.
Yeah. Mike.
Haven't seen very much this week, but I did finish watching The Legends of Vox Machina season 1, and very much enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. It was sad when it ended. I wanted more.
It was weird that they were putting out like 3 episodes a week, or was it 4?
I was expecting it to take another 6 weeks to be done, and they put out a lot each week. I don't know how much.
It was 3 or 4 episodes would drop a week. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was really weird, but I was okay with that because it let me basically binge it. And like I said, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It is not a kids show. I will reemphasize that. Definitely not a kids show.
I would argue that it's not even for most adults.
Yeah. It is if you have watched any of Critical Role's shows, it embodies those characters and takes it to the level that they didn't feel comfortable taking it to in the show. It'd be my explanation, because that would be too weird to do with all your friends in front of a camera.
Yeah, I watched the final episode this morning.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
For the most part.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not real. It was okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the attachment to the property that,
Right.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you watched Critical Role, then you'll probably really enjoy this, getting to see the characters in their true form and, really condensing. I mean, if you watched it, there's like 150 episodes or something at about 4 hours each. And they're turning, probably 40 to probably more than that, 40 to 50 hours of content into 12, 25-minute episodes. So it's it really condenses the things down to a manageable bite size. That's the problem I always had with Critical Role is if you get behind, it's impossible to catch up because every week it's a 4-hour episode.
Mhm.
So if you're 2 weeks behind, you've got to basically quit your job to catch up.
yeah. I should probably comment on the fact that Miss Maisel's back. But I'll save that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But what I will comment on is something that I enjoyed even less than that, which is I finally finished the last season of Arrested Development.
Oh.
It's been in my queue since 2015 because I watched like the first couple episodes. And I finally just the other day, over the weekend, it was like, I need to get this finished so that I can mark it as complete and move on. Ooh, boy. It's clear that they changed gears at some point and repurposed the plot because the ADR was so bad. At over half of every scene, the audio did not come close to matching what the actors are actually saying. And there were several times that in a conversation, they went back to the same scene. It was like, wait, we've seen that like 3 times of these two people talking. And it's clearly that they keep going back to it just because, hey, let's cut that back in here to make this work. Yeah. I'm glad that they finally put that show out of its misery. Was one of the greatest shows, but the Netflix revival did not do anything good for that franchise. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now.
Oh, no.
Although I do like that in season 5, it says a network original series, but then they write in semi with an arrow. And so I thought that was good. It's sad that that's the part that I enjoyed of that season. That little joke in the opening. Good riddance, Bluth family. And now Jessica Walter's gone, so guarantee no more seasons. All right. Well, on that note, one thing we cannot guarantee is no more seasons of the VOD Squad. So sorry, we will be back next Wednesday, as we're wont to do.
I guess.
I guess we'll see you next month. Yeah. But yeah, if you weren't aware, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central, here on the YouTubes. If you're watching and you would rather listen to us, you can get the podcast anywhere where podcasts are available. It's free. If you don't mind waiting for the episodes to come out eventually. No set schedule. But if you would prefer to have audio and in a timely manner, become a patron. Help us buy stuff. And in return, you'll get a custom RSS feed. And you get this episode. But otherwise, yeah, I don't have anything else. So
Okay.
we'll see everybody in the post show. We got a couple titles to vote for. So
Absolutely.
stick around if you're here, and we'll see you there. Otherwise, catch you next week. Bye.
Good night.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.